Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share you my analysis about the financial market as a whole. I will be covering the forex market, the gold market, and bit and crypto market. Really just the two larger caps coin. Firstly, we will have to look at the EURUSD chart, which is one of the most important forex pair, and it's also the global liquidity index. Right? When the LUSD chart is going up, this means that the global liquidity is going up. That's another introduction. Let's jump straight into our analysis. From the weekly time frame, you can clearly see that we are still in a significant uptrend. But recently we have seen some slowdown or some bearish momentum going on the long time frame. That's for the weekly. For the daily, looking at the daily swing low, which is in 31st of July. Since then, we have seen quite a sell-off in the LUSD chart. It could be a signal of a reversal, although I'm still looking on a reaction within this particular area of supply. Look at gouging the momentum. I think we can both see that the selling momentum, which is this downward move here. Sorry about that. Is much stronger than total bullish moves out in this actually a month worth of data. I was expecting to go short from this region. It also means that I will be expecting a bit of strength in the dollar index. Looking at the dollar index, which is the DSI, okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're still in a downtrend ever since that November, January, so last year election. And ever since I think like the 1st of July, we have seen some bounce of this multiple year trend line. I noticed back in 2011. Could be a signal of a reversal, as you can see some no, not really. It's just a consolidation within a larger swing structure. And for that to actually break, we actually have a chain of character, means that we have to break over this 101.79 to break over this structural swing high. Those price still making lower lows and low highs, but recently dollar has been really so strength. On the 4-hour time frame, we're looking forward for some new longs. This means that I'm bearish on a bit bearish on other REITs assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum. Although Ethereum has in highs, we'll talk about that later. Going back towards the LUSD chart, this from since the last, I think, yesterday, as we have witnessed a big fell in the LUSD, then big bullish move to the downside. Though like anything just contrary, just doesn't really seamlessly fully reverse the downside. Just slight correction before we look down lower. Yes, and kind of bearish on the RSI as well. Looking for some short opportunities with targets set to this sell side liquidity. Stop loss a bit above this recent high. It's a 2 to 25. This is ratio. Yeah, we'll definitely take that. We can maybe refine it to about then make it, yeah, 2.5 is actually a decent amount of risk to reward ratio. Next, we're looking at gold. Gold. Actually, gold has been really just consolidating within the last few months, ever since the April tariff announcement by the Orange Man. Just recently, we've seen this has been in this range low for the area of value area. Yeah, been ripping up a lot. Here, increase about like 5%. Yes, but I would still be a bit cautious, be bearish in the area of resistance and bullish in the area of support. Always big. Unless we actually have a break above the $3,500, and I will be turning bullish to rebuild. Another bit too far, as I will probably need more sudden moves. Ever since this recent uh, push, I think it's in the I can't remember what happened in during here. I think it's the NFP report. No, yeah, maybe. We'll be seeing such a big move since bounces off this swing structure. Imbalances and imbalances. Big failure level here. Time above is this. I think it's about like 5 days. It's starting to the end of this markup. And this markup it takes a bit longer. So our bullish momentum is more than bearish momentum. Okay, about the same. Though I would never actually want to short gold. Gold have been rising since I think at 2016. Confirm and reversal. I think all the traders are trades on the lower 1 to 2 minute time frame and actually do that. I did take some small scalping trades in here, although it's quite insignificant compared to its actual swing structure. But if anyone of you entered from the 0.5 of this fair value gap, will be making huge profit. Okay, for my next trade, I am going to be placing in short. I mean, it's a bit contradictory. Why would I be shorting on arrows while shorting gold in assets hedging? It's basically hedging because it's this similar trends. Or the more favorable move would be wait for long on the I will be waiting for long if we see a reaction of these two big candles here, and if we see a pullback, I'm going to go long. If the candle does not closes under on this fair value gap, also one of these supply zone, I hope to be retested and hope it will be retest in direction to sorry to gouge is a valid supply zone or not. Or we are overstretched. Yeah. We're looking more for longs and gold. My of course my TP will be at the recent swing high. Stop loss goes a bit below this up week over here. So realistically it should be on the area supply here. I'm looking forward for some for this year plan. Also putting a stop loss away with my position size with this one I will have a 0.5R and this one will be actually should be 0.3. Yeah, should be 3R and this will be 0.7R. If we really see a bad reaction of that, I can just close it with minimal losses. That's my plan for this. Okay. Could be something to could be an opportunity, trending reversals. Not really something I want. If we see a bad reaction though, then maybe I will go long. But for now, since we can also look at the RSI, maybe seeing a bit of an overbought and potentially a there could be a few bearish divergences coming up in the next week when we're looking for such also looking for some short opportunities. Could be looking for short and with my stop loss for behind. We will see that in the next few days and as we targeting that low if we do see a high on the price, low highs on the RSI. Usually when prices is rising up, selling pressure gets even more. A lot of people will be taking profits, especially institution will be taking profit. They always like 2 weeks ahead. They probably like go long in here and they will take profits and then a lot of sell orders could be triggered. People who are long at the top will be like really hope I would really hope I wouldn't make that mistake. Yeah. Then short which is also aligning the USD chart, which is bit of a confluence but not significant. Moving over to Bitcoin chart, one of my favorite assets to trade. If we still looking at the uptrend here, we have been in an uptrend in this bull market since 2022, making big gains over here. 500%. I don't think people should be asking for more. So, just a lot of like sentiment nowadays. Social media, especially Twitter, you get people raging about So this super cycles over everything is this is the worst cycle ever. So personally, I just think that people are just too greedy. And everyone is greedy, but some are a lot more greedy than others. They never liked Bitcoin when it was around here, or maybe even here. They just like it when it's like 100K. Okay, even though I'm pretty new to the financial market and I have no right to judge others, I also pretty sure that you shouldn't buy things when it gets too expensive. Actually, the reason why the Fibonacci ratio is so big is actually used by traders, actually used to gauge the potential, yeah, how expensive price can get. And since this uh, December sell-off, the big all-time highs, right about near the 328 Fibonacci ratio, which is almost exactly the price target with some deviation. For recently, soon before the election. Okay, but what is the future? What anything may see on Bitcoin? As you can see on the other side, we have been in an RSI downtrend ever since that sell off in 11th of August. August sell. If we look at the monthly time frame, the RSI chart, can you see some bearish divergence? Love is high highs of the price chart and lower highs of the RSI. Keep in mind that we have there's this theory about this 4-year cycle. I mean, I don't really trust that 4-year cycle because if everyone knew about it, then it would be true. Just that. And recently, we have been seeing a bit of a slowdown in the momentum, and we have lost this SMA of the RSI. And I think I have noticed something that is pretty interesting. Every time we have broken this RSI channel, that is the new, obviously just speculative, of course. Of course. It is, yeah, when I see this loss of trend in the outside, we have seen sell of 50K down to $3,000. And in December, when we have lost the whole foothold about trend line, it's near the 66 region. No, actually, yeah, it's like 66 or 70. Doesn't matter that much. And that is being a bigger correlation. I think about like 20%. Yeah, 20% correlation. And here history could be repeating, but I mean, I only see it 3 times. We need to see like 4 or 5 times to actually, or at least 20 times actually have some statistic about it. But we are also seeing a big sell-off here ever since the loss of a trend line in 66 RSI. Ever since then, since this in August, that is selling off back into here. I'll be expecting a 20 to 30% return in this. Maybe around, it could be around 95. 95 is a valid, could be a valid supply point. Could be the imbalances in here still haven't filled. So in the longer time frame, I'm looking for could I could be looking for big long swing that where tight stop off. Just maybe the cycle is over. I mean, maybe just the cycle people are talking about is over. Uh, just I just cannot fathom looking at this. I mean, they've been going up for like 10x. You should be hoping it to go down like 5x. It could be going down to 50k to be honest. Market should be like that. It shouldn't be a Ponzi scheme. I can make it clearly a bubble. We're looking for really pay attention to this area here. Also, there's I'm using the indicator. So we see there's an order block around the 96 to 93k. We'll take it with stop. We're looking at this Bitcoin price chart. And I'll take a look in 10 for not a liquidity to the upside, potential pump, and then a continuation towards the upside about this later on. Wow. Alright, 2 weeks. Yeah, there seems to be more and more liquidity piling up on the ups. So that's very interesting, but we also need to pay attention to that liquidity on the low side. A lot of people are opening longs in here. I don't get it. They keep opening longs. I'll probably just go against it. Just buy spot and short it. Yeah, some price levels to be looking forward in the short term. For in the long term, I mean, I'm still looking forward for a big sell-off. We move toward the downside, and then a big push, a final push to the upside before we actually have a blow off top. I mean, we can clearly see a rising wedge pattern forming over several weeks. Sorry about that. I think it will uh shit. I think when the final wave reformed, I don't see. I didn't know where I can. I think when we make a new lower high higher lows, I will be connecting this to form fund rising wedge pattern, and then we'll also be looking for longs. It should be above this value area low, and we buy stop loss or buy stops. Stop loss or buy stops is basically the same. Related to hedging, something to be like well. Looking at on the daily time frame though, we have been still staying ever since this August sell-off. We're seeing a low and low high solid chart, but it's actually very different. We're actually seeing a bullish divergence just by looking at the chart. Why do I know that? You can wait. Why is that? Because when we see a big sell-off like this, just go sideways, no resistance, going down. Just go up a bit. I think it's in the Fed meeting where people just front run the market, making new high low. Like that. But also we notice that every selling move down here have been made with a big up. It means that buying is taking place. Buyers are stepping in more and more. I have to put it later because we have to check the put to call ratio. If more calls are being out, I guess you can say that. If more calls, I mean, it could be a bullish indication. This actually the edge finder that I get from this is actually a free demo of A1 Trading Group. Shout out to Nick Trader. Okay, where's that? I need to I got it from why did I forgot that? Yeah, it could be a combination of traders looking at. Or I'm only interested in those. Okay, you see, position is half is all bit boring. That half is only short. Is updated. Something to be up to pay attention to. I think a potential profit taking of shorts will be happening in within the next several days. And we have been seeing such a sell off, 13% sell now. And if we can spot a new potential, and you have heavy liquidity of this long, I think quite a lot of stop losses here. If we have the potential long setup, if the price get invalidated, get validated. For example, my scenario would my ideal scenario to confirm a long in this would be if we break down. If we have the better, if it doesn't continue go lower in the fair value gap, or we if it doesn't go lower and instead we break structure for 110 on the higher time frame, that would mean that a structural shift will be will happen. So this important level. So if you're looking at calculations, a lot of people paying shorts, but paying long. And places placing stop loss right below this low. Yeah, I think this imbalance also needs to be filled. We could be looking for long setups in here around 106, targeting the highs. Stop loss probably below the 104 because it's been major change of yes, structure. Usually my trading strategy would be to just DCA down with my predetermined stop loss. Or let's put the stop loss guys. Or sell stop to the either hedge or just put a stop loss. Although I try hedging more if you are if I'm scalping it be better in that sense. Market structure wise, I will be looking for long, but what about the momentum? For a price shot, yeah, we have almost hit oversold in here. I'll be looking for longs, of course. Bearish, in the top and bullish in the bottom. Hmm. Something interesting to seeing a lot of buying pressure upon this area. A lot of buying pressure. Longs have been able to push price up. But today is the weekend. If there is equal lows or swipe out, this equal lows or swipe out, I mean, it would be a sign, most the biggest signs of weakness. And if there's no divergence, expecting a big sell up could potentially be all the way down here. Could be a bit lower to 98K because I do know that some people will place their stop loss right under this. There's still imbalance to be filled. There's still orders to be filled. Mm, That's why I think people would because I think I am amateur trader. Could be a sell without I don't really hold any cryptocurrency at the moment, and you have to see it in um few 7 next hours to see to also see price will have itself within race region. Uh, but can we forward? So it could be good these first shots and if price manage to invalidate the fair value gap and start making high lows and high highs on the fractal structure. About the 50 minutes. Right? Price managed to wait to this segment of the uh, demand or supply, whatever is support and resist and rebranded. If we see a market shift, I've been looking on the buy. Could probably be now here because people buy out stop loss before making too highs. I think that's called inducement. Okay. So what do you have plan for Bitcoin? For Bitcoin, I will be looking for longs. If if we manage to not continue selling on at this most recent um fair value gap. Yeah, more recent fair value gap. Yeah. Okay. This is crazy. When and now my confirmation is that the changing fractal structure. Okay, that's from Bitcoin. For Ethereum, for Ethereum, I will still be looking for longs because right now institutions are buying more Ethereum than Bitcoin, so much money is flowing into Bitcoin. Recently, we are witnessing some outflows, profit taking for institution. Everything is all-time high. So we'll wait for some inflow. Usually, first 1 or 2 days of inflows will be yeah, hidden bullish divergence. Let's see. Yeah. For Ethereum, I will be looking for long, I think around this region. Right. Region, stop loss below this short low break. Target will be set to around 0.65 Fibonacci ratio. the risk to reward ratio of 10 and 29. My scenario of Ethereum is pretty similar to Bitcoin because both of these are interconnected, so I only have to basically analyze Ethereum. If you down here and it goes down there and you do make some structural nodes and structural change in the lower time frame, we're looking for long. And if prices goes up and swap was stop loss, it will still be low for longs, but be more bearish, and it could be facing this area of supply where there could be a potential sell. Because Ethereum is still at all-time high, and I would be hesitant to buy an asset when it is at all-time highs. Except stocks are a bit different. Okay, so I think that is my plan for the financial markets. Hope you're doing well, and I hope that we can both make money out of this. But before we actually move on, we're looking at about the return on Bitcoin, so we can kind of have an bias what will happen next year. Ooh. Next year will be bearish. Next month will be bearish. Sorry, I will be expecting some bearish indication in Bitcoin and also continuation and things and could be bearish. So my bearish plans, which trading continuation, and for a big, even in a bigger correction, could be viable. Although I think when trading continuation is better than reversal, and that is my own experience because it gave me higher win rates. Chinese friends, so and that what do you call issue? Oh wow. I'm actually banning this year. Ooh. This call also. Yeah, that's about it. I will see you in the next video. I will try to improve my videos over time. This is my first video. I think we'll learn something more as times go on. But for my first video, I think I've been jabbing for like 30 minutes. So goodbye for now. I'll see you again in my next video.